So everything starts here. We design the bathroom from the base to the roof, so everything is designed by us. The way we split the business is in two different sectors in a way. Offline manufacturing and online manufacturing. So offline is where we manufacture all the things we use to put the bathroom together, such as the frame, the joinery, the doors, and then we put it together online later on. You can have higher quality in the end if you can tweak every part of every component, you know, that is required.
Howick has been a big part of Sink bathroom pods. From the first 2 years, we transitioned from a different supplier to Howick, simply because of the capabilities of this machine. We're very genuine and true in the way we deal with suppliers and partners and customers. And I guess the reason why we've stuck with Howick and not gone to a myriad of other suppliers or China is because the product actually works. There's no fluff. You know, when something goes wrong with it, the response is usually very, very good, very quick. But the product itself is very solid, right? You know, you look at the parts, you look at the bearings, you look at the gears, everything is manufactured very, very well and to a high quality. And they run full time. You know, at its peak, it was running at 3 shifts, doing, you know, almost 25, 28 pods a day, and not skipping a beat. So that for us, the output here is incredible, you know. And combined with a highly skilled operator and our designing capabilities inside on CAD, there's not much we can do. It's very versatile in what it can do. And yeah, we've been very happy and very lucky to be having this machine, you know, be the heart of our bathroom pod. You know, streamlining, integrating sub-assembly. The team have come up with an incredible system of vertically integrating the wall with the frame. What that does is greatly speed up the time. So now you're taking it off the critical path where you have to glue and screw these panels to the stud frame. You're doing it in one process. So essentially, you're halving that time for your wall assembly.
Overall, at the moment, we are 110 people, 120 people. Everyone knows what can be done at what point and what our capability at any day. So, and yeah, again, people, culture, communication, that's the key. Yeah, people work together to help each other towards the same goal. There's no way we can't achieve what we set ourselves to. So yeah, very proud, very grateful for everything.
First of all, thank you guys so much for showing us through your factory. It's really, really impressive. Why don't we get started by maybe each of you telling us a little bit more about who you are, where you've come from, and how you started with Sink.
So I'm Sami, I'm the General Manager at Sink. Started off back in 2017 in Brooklyn. Came in as a cadet / graduate. Background is mechanical engineering. So, and obviously at that time, Holden was just shutting down. We'd lost a lot of our local industries in Melbourne and Australia as a whole. So really the options were construction or construction. So yeah. It was a great surprise when I just rocked up to one of these job fair events and I saw Sink. I was like, oh, this is interesting. It sort of looks like manufacturing. That's not something you see every day. And really that for me was everything. I went to Brooklyn, our factory there at Sink, and had an interview, and I automatically fell in love, you know, to see what the capabilities are still in Australia. I was like, you know, this is something I really want to be a part of. Anyway, so I joined up. I was more of a PM, project coordinator sort of role. An opportunity come up to join the exec team. So all of us stepped up and we're here now.
And Antonio.
I'm the operations director here at Sink since almost a year now. I'm one of those people that love learning, so I really can't live any day without doing things and learn. It doesn't matter what that is. It could be music, could be anything. And so I could see here, you know, I can join the two together and just, you know, make something great for myself when they proposed me the operations director role. And yeah, I love challenges, so I took it. And it's been great. It's been great working with the team and being able to, without them, it wouldn't be possible. Being able just to come here every day and to feel I am where I want to be, and I think where I should be.
Yeah. every business has a spark, something that starts it off. How did Sync Industries come about? What started that?
A long and varied history. We actually originated from a different company called Unitized Building. So Unitized Building used to do shipping container fit outs. I think around that 2013, 2014 mark was when Sync was created. There was a big hole in the market for modular construction in Australia. It wasn't really a thing here, and we've filled a very specific need. That need now is not specific anymore. It's becoming more and more mainstream, which is great for us. You've got several different sectors that are looking at modular construction as a viable option, and hopefully soon the only option. As compliance and tighter control becomes enforced on the construction industry, it's going to be more and more important. So I think that was the spark and the driver, but I think moving it forward will be something a little bit different, which hopefully will be our benefit. So
yeah.
If I can add to it, today the purpose out there for us is helping people to join the industry in terms of people that are not highly skilled, and they want to be part of manufacturing, have a little bit of a taste of construction, and there's no better place than Sync in my opinion, and that's what the team works on, in creating easier processes so everyone can just step in and contribute.
So Sync is a vertically integrated advanced manufacturing business. That's you guys at the core. So can you walk us through what that means and how that benefits your customer?
Advanced manufacturing is because we utilize, I guess, some CNC machines and some advanced processes that help a traditional construction method, come together. So if you think about what we do here, it's building a bathroom pod how you would do it in essence on site, but the way you build it is through advanced machinery, CNC machines, and different processes come together in a factory setting, and they will develop into this bathroom pod.
So you guys have full control across everything.
Yeah, exactly. So the vertically integrated part would be the part where we've taken on all those processes, where traditionally you'd have a different subcontractor for each. We've pretty much taken that all in-house, control it, all set out by our 3D CAD design, which models every part of the bathroom. If you think about, again, construction comparisons, you've got a set of architectural drawings where someone needs to interpret them. A skilled tradesman needs to figure out how to build this thing. Whereas we set that all out into shop drawings, and I'm back onto the floor. So
Lean manufacturing is what we do, and it's hard to think about construction. When you think about construction tolerances, it's at 10 mil out, it's fine. Well, our way of thinking is still precision made, and of course with the help of CNC, and that mindset help us creating something that before was impossible to think about, like a bathroom in manufacturing, and creating with precision, and what the client expects is what they're gonna get.
I think customer needs and technology always advance. They're always continually changing. Have any of these influenced the way you guys operate in terms of the manufacturing processes or the innovation that you bring to it?
Absolutely, like technology and now it's out there. Robotics and automation is something we work on, and it's something that we want to integrate here more and more, mainly for making things easier and faster and safer for people. So it's not about replacing anyone. It's about complementing what we do already. Yeah.
Customers, they always try to push us to a point. But I think what's taken us to the next level is the team that we have here, really thinking about, okay, this is what the market's asking us to do. How do we do it, a better way, cheaper, faster, safer?
From design to delivery, every detail is considered because we believe smarter construction starts with smarter systems. So why is that approach important for you guys? And how does that give a benefit to the customer?
Luckily for us, we have a very low benchmark being construction as the baseline. So what smart means to us is it's coordination. We have that's really the service that we give. Of course, we give them a bathroom pod, but to make that work on site, you can't just deliver it and hope for the best. So the smarts and the intelligence come from us just raising things early. We know what is needed to make a bathroom pod work. So we have that whole design process and coordination really early on, all the way to a delivered approved shop drawing, well before they're even thinking about it. So there's a whole other suite of benefits that we give them. We offer them alternatives, better products, different ideas, really for the layout of their building, which again, they don't really think of. Rationalizing is a huge thing. It's all to drop costs. It's the intangible stuff as well that really adds the difference, or makes a difference to choose, Sync as opposed to just a conventional build.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Sometimes the word smart gets like, oh my gosh, smart. Like, whoa, what is the idea to be a smart idea? That's for the client, from sync to the client perspective. Just keep it simple, communication also here. Smart doesn't mean reinventing something complicated, solving something. Just keep it simple, start from basic, and you're going to solve it. 100%.
Yeah.
And I suppose part of that is also barriers, challenges. Is there a particular challenge that you guys have seen from your industry, your side, that you've gone, actually, we can do this differently, we can do this better?
I mean, you got the whole industry itself, as we know, things move really slowly, in construction, even in government and regulations and standards, stuff that we do here well exceeds anything, but you might have an independent surveyor look at something and say, oh, I don't like that. Fortunately, now we've been doing it long enough that most people know what we're about and trust the product. So it's been a journey. Yeah.
Also delivery. Like we have manufacturing, we plan, and we know when we're gonna get stuff out the door, and we are not always right, but most of the time we get it right, because as a team, if we think we're not gonna get there, we'll sit together, find a strategy to make sure that bathroom is leaving the factory at that specific time. Construction, the nature of construction, or weather, or many other reasons why it's delayed. It kind of it create complexity for us for storage. So I guess what I'm trying to say is we're going to get, and I know we will, to a point where the deadline that we're going to get given from our clients are going to be more accurate, and not, there's that mentality of, I'm going to tell you I need it in May when I really need it at the end of June, just because I want to make sure that bathroom is ready for me. That's not your concern. You tell me when you really need it, because if you don't give me the truth, that I'm making bathrooms, imagine 10 different people, 10 different clients, everyone have the same strategy, thinking it's the right one, and it create complexity for us. So trust us, we'll give you the pod when it's required. Yeah.
Now, Sync places a lot of importance on innovation and technology that we've talked about. What led you guys to light gauge steel and roll forming?
Well, I think for us, it makes the most sense. I mean, the whole essence of the bathroom pod, you want to reduce the mass, right? Reducing mass reduces the cost, reduces a lot of things, carbon footprint, that sort of thing. So it serves a really good purpose. It's fit for what it's intended to do. Is there ways to improve that as well? Of course. Traditionally our design has been over engineer to build in as much safety factor, because these things get lifted 30, 40 floors. You want to make sure that they stay together when they're being lifted. Especially now that we do things offline, you want to make sure things are as light as possible. They're being handled, they're being pushed around. They need some level of flexibility as well. When putting things together, they are I don't know, probably tens of thousands of components. So you want to make things to be a little bit flexible. So yeah, it sort of just makes sense for bathroom pods. Yeah.
Maybe 2013 or something like that, maybe. Bought the first Howick, and then obviously recently bought a second Howick machine. So yeah, just be interested to know what was your thought process behind choosing Howick.
Yeah, look, to be honest, I wasn't around for the previous machine, but from all the accounts that we heard, it was a Scottsdale machine, so it was quite limited in its ability to create all the variations that we need. the beautiful thing about Howick is that it just works. You get it right from the start, which is the setup and design. You know, we work really closely with Alan to ensure we capture everything that we need. I know it's sometimes very hard because our needs are always changing, but it just goes to show how versatile the machine is, to be able to handle all of the variations that we throw at it and to pump it out so consistently. I think that's the most impressive thing. You know, very little maintenance involved, and maintenance that is required, it's quite simple to do.
Yep.
You look at the components inside and you can tell it's a high quality machine, right? And we've had times where we've had to, there's been a little bit of a breakdown on the machines, and we're able to, make it work with just, locally sourced materials. And, if you think about any other machine that you get, from any other supplier from Germany or Italy, forget it. You're not going to be able to turn around and fix it yourself. The other huge part of it, having Alan's expertise when things do go wrong. Yeah, all that combined, I think, has been the reason why we've stuck. Yeah.
For me, it's just two words, like reliable, the machine and the people behind it. The customer care. Doesn't matter what time of the day it is. Sometimes things get fixed on a call. And again, it doesn't need to be fixed very often along during the year, but it happens, and when it does, it's not a headache for you. And when you talk about machines, when something goes wrong and it's going to get fixed very quick and easily, and if it doesn't, there's going to be a solution. That shows how the team behind these machines, because that's all it is for me, the people, the customer care, and what you guys, the value you guys add to our business, and so I just want to say thank you again.
Yeah.
Now, when we were walking through the factory, you both on different occasions have talked about team and culture, and you can see that. I didn't even have to hear it. You walking through the factory, you guys are there with the people, they know you, you know them, it's got that camaraderie. So how do you promote that people first culture within Sync? Because that's really quite something special.
We all have our unique ways of rotor culture. I think it comes down to what we deem as acceptable behavior. I think it's safe to say we all lead by example in terms of the team that's involved in production and in the office. There's a level of respect that's shared between everyone on the floor. Doesn't matter who you are, what your role is. You're a cleaner. You do walls offline. You're a machine operator. You're treated equally and fairly.
You're part of the team.
You're part of the team, right? There's no weird levels or cliques. We make it a point to ensure that everyone is treated equally and everyone's concerns are heard. And once you show that you genuinely care about someone, they naturally want to return it back to you. I think that's been, it's just come naturally to us. We don't do anything special. We throw a barbecue every now and then, but it's not the reason why people show up to work.
Yeah.
They show up because of, the people that look after them genuinely care about them. So they want to work for them, right?
Right, you can see it as soon as you walked in this morning, and greeted everybody and she acknowledged everybody. You don't always get that, from the operations director or whoever it might be that's coming in. So it was awesome to see, actually.
Yeah, for me, it's about, again, keep it simple. Start from what do people need and what are their expectations, I think for us has been sharing the purpose and sharing our values and making sure you lead as example to begin with. And for us is why do I need to give my best and hit those targets? The reason for us is very simple. If you really care about each other and you want to take care of each other, you want to make sure, because it's a production line, then the next day the person comes in and has work to do, and if you miss a target, someone down the line is going to miss a day where there's no work for that person. Of course, we don't send people home, but that gives people the perspective of why there's rules, why we need to do what we need to do, why we need to respect each other. It's all for the same reason, to make sure every day we come here and we're all safe, we feel safe, and we have
You wanna be
a
there.
place to come back every single day, and that keeps them happy and motivated because they know that's what we work towards. It's not about just getting more clients, getting more pods down the line. Sometimes we want less pod to build, just because of it really depends what the needs out there, it's about taking care of each other from top down, because that's where everything starts.
It's good. And I think that almost passes down to the customer as well.
That is correct.
You guys are happy, your team is happy, you're productive, and that's going to filter through. The customer sees that, the customer feels that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
When I say make sure people feel safe, feeling safe of raising her hand and say, sorry, I made a mistake. It would be easier to just don't say anything. No one is going to ever know. There's bathrooms, everything is enclosed. When do you find out? A customer gets stage and the client is unhappy. So if you make a place where people feel safe to speak up for anything, emotions, work, or whatever it might be, you can fix things, you can address things quickly, you can train people better. And that's what's been for us the key in the last couple of years.
And it's part of like the ideas and innovations where you guys can share.
100%.
It's open. You can talk to anyone can pitch in and say, can we try this maybe?
100%. Innovation is not just machinery. Being smart, that's the way. Yeah.
So part of your philosophy is future thinking. Can you tell us a bit about what's next for Sync?
What's next for Sync? So, of course, for us is employing more people, having more automation in here, and manufacture, like changing the way. This is our motto as well. Changing the way the world builds. And that's what we're working on, like trying to have again, as I was saying before, like more people that they're able to do everything in a way, and they can take that also at home. When I talk about, for example, cleanliness out there or making sure the place is tight, it's about the discipline, and for me, discipline is something that I love talking about. We grew up with discipline is something hard. Discipline is something, that it's painful. I completely disagree with that. Discipline requires commitment. And if you can do that here and then take it at home, it changes people's life. And that's what we're trying to do.
Appreciate you having us here and taking the time out to speak with us today.
Thanks for coming.
It's been great.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you for coming, of course, and to be a valuable partners of ours.
Yeah.
So
We look forward to seeing what you guys are doing next.
Yeah.
Thanks, Antonio.
Thanks, Chris.
thank you.
Thanks, Ian.
mate.
Cheers, bud. Thank you.